Violence and civil disturbances, as presented by the chairman, Dr. Sheikh Ahmad Lemu. The report.
The 2011 presidential election in Nigeria was adjudged by both the local and international observers as free and fair. But what so many people couldn't explain was the spate of violence that followed the elections, claiming several lives and property. President Goodluck Jonathan, who won that election, would not sweep such loss of lives under the carpet. Immediately after being sworn in, he, on May 11, inaugurated the federal government investigation panel with 5 terms of reference to unravel the remote causes of such violence. 5 months after, the panel has come up with a report. Before the submission, Dr. Sheikh Lemu told the president that they visited sites of the violence to see and assess the level of destruction, and that it was difficult to ascertain the accuracy of the number that died or property lost, but he called for compensation. He says the causes of the violence are many, including failure to implement past recommendations like the Babalaki, Karibi White, Nikki Toby Judicial Commission, and many more.
The people indicted by the committees and commissions concerned should be prosecuted. These recommendations, Your Excellency, are based on what the panel observed in the field from many victims of those previous disturbances who are nursing reprisals and have only been waiting for the slightest excuse to move into action, which some of them actually did during the 2011 election violence and civil disturbances.
Other causes, he said, include widespread desire for change as a result of frustration by the electorate, general insecurity of lives and property, do-or-die affairs of the political office seekers, ethno-religious sentiments following the zoning issues, provocative utterances by politicians, and the declining spirit of God consciousness in Nigerians. They said they even had audience with the CPC presidential candidate, who they said was a victim of the violence.
Utterances by many individuals and the widespread charge by the prominent politicians, including the CPC presidential candidate, to the electorate to guard their vote, appeared to have been misconstrued by many voters to include recourse to violence, which they did.
President Goodluck Jonathan accepts the report. He commends the panel for a job well done, as well as Nigerians who volunteered to assist and promised to implement the report.
Let me use a privilege to thank those who voluntarily discussed with you people, gave you the information you required, especially the party leaders and senior government functionaries and private sector operatives who voluntarily, willingly discuss with you and give you their own perspective of the cause of the crisis. I'm also more interested in the preventive aspects of your recommendation than in the punishment aspect. Yes, people who commit offenses must face the laws of the land. But how do we prevent subsequent occurrence? That is the key thing that is dear to me. Right. When we were to conduct the election, I said that we would try and do elections that would be free and fair. At least internationally, the elections have been accepted. Unfortunately, we had this ugly incident